As one of the lead characters of the popular Netflix show Stranger Things, Nancy is a source of inspiration for many viewers who admire her strength and determination. However, some fans now call for changes to her role on the show, feeling that she has become too annoying and one-dimensional in later seasons. First up, why are fans displeased with Nancy's character? Stranger Things Season 5 fans want to see Nancy with a new love interest. The love life of Nancy Wheeler, one of the numerous interrelated plot threads in the popular sci-fi series, is one of the most talked about among fans of Stranger Things. Although she had Steve as her love interest when the show began, she eventually started seeing Jonathan. Nancy and Steve appear to be rekindling their romance in the show's 4th season, which keeps the love triangle going into the 5th, because Nancy/Steve and Nancy/Jonathan are two of the most well-liked relationships in Stranger Things. The show's different social media accounts frequently refer to them. This causes amusing exchanges with viewers as they argue over their favorite duo. On the other hand, a recent tweet from the Stranger Things writers' Twitter account featuring Nancy and Jonathan drew unexpected responses. Although many users mocked Nancy and Jonathan in the comments and defended Nancy's relationship with Steve, some chose to draw attention to another couple instead, Nancy and Robin. Next up, what changes do they want to see? Fans of Stranger Things want significant changes to Nancy's character arc. They feel that her storyline needs to become more balanced and predictable, with no actual development or exploration of her relationships with other characters, such as Steve or Jonathan. Fans would like to see more meaningful plot lines for Nancy, focusing on her strength and determination, rather than the stereotypical teenage drama she is often involved in. Viewers would also like Nancy's role in the show to be expanded again, allowing her to take up some of Eleven's narrative space since she has been missing for 2 seasons. In addition, fans want to see more complexity in Nancy's character arc compared to earlier seasons, where she was often seen taking charge as a strong female lead. They feel this could be achieved by exploring different sides of the character, such as vulnerability, courage, or even fear. This could help make Nancy a more relatable and three-dimensional figure who viewers can sympathize with, rather than just an annoying teenager who lacks any story depth. It remains to be seen if the creators will consider these fan suggestions when writing future episodes. Still, it could help bring back old viewers who have grown tired of Nancy's lackluster plot lines over recent years. Next off, how are these changes going to help Nancy develop as a character? Nancy Wheeler has the potential to be an even more compelling character if she develops in a few key areas. This could include becoming less naive when it comes to trusting others and showing appreciation towards those who have always been there for her, especially during times of need. Additionally, Nancy should strive to become more supportive of her friends and family so they feel comfortable opening up to her whenever they struggle. These changes would only serve as significant steps for our beloved heroine's personal growth. Still, they could also help viewers gain an even greater understanding of what makes up this unforgettable female character from Hawkins, ultimately giving them hope that no matter how difficult things may seem at times, one can still make positive strides forward if they remain flexible and open-minded enough to try something different. Next up, could Robin and Nancy end up together? After the older teens teamed up with Stranger Things Season 4 to look into Victor Creel, Robin and Nancy as a couple became a surprise hit. The connection between the two very different young women received great feedback from viewers, especially since Nancy hasn't had a close female friend in the show since Barb's untimely death, and Steve is Robin's closest confidant. Although the solid female friendship was a positive development for the science fiction show, some Stranger Things viewers saw a brewing romance between the two characters. This may be explained by the allure of opposites attracted and Robin's admitted desire for women. Given that Steve, Nancy, Jonathan has been the primary love triangle for the older teen group over the series' numerous seasons, it is doubtful that their relationship will become canon in Stranger Things Season 5. Despite having chemistry, Nancy and Robin have only lately interacted on screen, giving them far less of a basis than the other relationships. There will be a time jump in Season 5 though, which might cause Nancy and Robin to become close and connect through their experiences in Stranger Things Season 4 and afterward. Next up, can the tweets from Stranger Things open a new door for a possible love story? The Stranger Things writers' account's tweets also seem to leave room for a new love story for Nancy, as their initial holiday post about Steve and Nancy wished them happy holidays. In contrast, the post about Jonathan and Nancy wished them happier holidays, with no additional tweets highlighting the character's potential happiest holiday. That says nothing about Nancy and Robin's probable romance, which would undoubtedly be a surprise if it materialized in Season 5. The most significant outcome for Stranger Things Seasons 5 would be focusing on Nancy's development as an independent character and her love life second, despite the ongoing widespread interest in her romantic connections. Next up, did Natalia Dyer trace her character's journey? Natalia Dyer, who plays Nancy Wheeler in the Netflix original series, retraced how her character went from abiding by the rules to bravely approaching danger. Nancy has undergone a significant transformation from Season 1 to where she is today in Season 4, due to the peculiar circumstances of Hawkins. Although there was a stark shift, Dyer believed that her persona would remain the same at its core. In an interview with Collider, the actress said, "There is an aspect of her that I believe is carried through really effectively. creatively. There is an essence of her that I think is carried through really nicely that kind of ties these two ends of the spectrum together pretty well, which is like this sort of intuition, gut instinct to follow her own brain and her own path, the actor explained in an interview with Collider. By retracing her steps as Nancy from season 1, Dyer highlights the character's notable evolution throughout the show's 4 previous seasons. I think she was a lot more concerned with appearances in school and success and achieving in her small understanding of her small town, the actor said. I think she always was very ambitious, but I just think her ideas of what that means and what that can be have shifted widely, and she's really kind of stepped into this totally new, exciting, brave, powerful side of herself. It's fun. It's a fun play. Next off, what does Natalie explain about her character? Nancy Wheeler has a reputation for putting herself in dangerous circumstances and compressing pressure. The Stranger Things actress clarified the aggressive nature of her character, saying, "It's interesting, whenever she sort of blatantly throws herself into danger, I think because there was something about her initially at least that felt maybe a little timider and a little more played by the rules. It says a lot that she's so focused. She's not perfect, and I think she makes a lot of mistakes." When Nancy's friend Barbara Holland vanished, she began looking into the disappearance of Will Byers. During the investigation, she collaborated with the missing boy's brother, Jonathan Byers, which allowed her to find the Upside Down, an extra-dimensional location. Nancy worked as a reporter for Hawkins Post at the start of season 4 to look into Chrissy's passing. To learn more about the evil Vecna's prior life as Henry Creel, she would partner up with Robin Buckley. Next up, how did Natalie describe her character's defining moments? The actress also described important events for her role, experiences that made her appreciate Nancy's bravery and what the character was truly capable of. I think things like season 1, even going into the tree, the first time she got a gun, and a lot of times in this season, where every time she's just kind of like, I don't care about necessarily me, or the fact that I'm not thinking about it as much as I'm trying to figure this out, or get to the bottom of it, or stop something. She seems to be highly concentrated, which says a lot. She is not faultless, and she frequently makes mistakes. The actress talked about Nancy's use of reason and concentration to deal with all they have encountered, which, to put it kindly, has been a lot as she looked back on Nancy's journey from season 1 to season 4. She said, "I think Nancy does compartmentalize a lot of emotions. Her coping mechanism is just logic and focus and fight, and not accepting that as a reality, not letting herself crumple into her feelings. She's pretty tough, I think, with herself and her emotions." Next up, can Stranger Things season 5 resolve Nancy's love triangle? Season 5 of the critically acclaimed program Stranger Things is anticipated to wrap out its run and tie up all the loose ends, including ending the romances and the love triangle that have existed throughout the series. The chemistry between Nancy and Steve, as shown in season 4, is evident. The Duffers interview implies that Nancy will finally get to know the grown-up, mature version of Steve, as opposed to the immature one she has been used to. However, the Duffer Brothers interview demonstrated that the show prioritizes the interests of its characters. The program would be running with a plot that shows consideration for the character's development and not just pursuing a manufactured love triangle for its own sake, whether Nancy rekindles an old flame or continues with her current beau. Fans want the unresolved triangle between Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan to be resolved in season 5. Overall, it's clear that Stranger Things fans have very particular opinions regarding the character of Nancy. Despite her many admirable qualities, fans have expressed unhappiness with certain aspects of her arc. They want to see changes made in later seasons. What changes do you expect in Nancy by season 5? What love interest should Nancy lean toward, Steve or Jonathan? Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.